You're welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform Facebook Live from 3Team Pest Trade Academy. And tonight, or this evening rather, we'll be looking at starting and managing export business. And we'll be looking at part 31. Part 31. And our focus today will be on payment methods. Our focus today will be on payment methods. Sorry, I need to do a little adjustment on my camera. Payment method. Yep, I think we're fine. Payment method. Payment method international trade. Payment method is very germane in international trade, actually. Very, very germane. Because that's actually what determines when you will be paid, if you will be paid, and how you will be paid, and when you will be paid. Payment method is so essential and so critical, such that at the end of the day, if you do not choose the right payment method, or choose the right coverage for your payment, then it becomes difficult for you to get paid at the end of the day. You know, I was talking to someone last week, and it's one of our colleagues on this platform. I'm happy. I'm very glad he's actually on this platform. He has not joined us today, and he spoke to me about this issue of payment method. And what happened exactly? This guy got someone who wanted to buy his products somewhere in northern part of Africa. But what was interesting to me is that he was going to be paid. And for the guy in question, I'm sorry I'm using this example, but just for the purpose of learning, and I'm happy we've been able to discuss this issue. So it's like a case, and I'm happy you're on this platform just in case you meet this video eventually. I'm deliberately talking about it. I'm not mentioning the name, but I think it's also good for other people to learn from that story, so that at the end of the day, we can all learn from each other. So the person that wants to buy the goods from him, to assure him that he will pay, he sent him a check from the country. I think he sent it via courier, physical check. So he was trying to tell me, he was even trying to convince me that, look, the guy is serious, he wants to pay. He doesn't want to give him a particular instrument, we'll be talking about it later on, but he give him a check. And when I saw it, I was telling him that, number one, a check does not even have a place among all the payment methods I've known, both the very common one and the very uncommon one. Check does not even have a place at all. Check does not even have a place at all. So it was now very interesting to me that that is what is being presented to this guy. But where am I going? I'm trying to talk about the fact that payment method is another very important and critical area of trade, such that if you get it wrong, sincerely, it might spell doom for the business. If you get it wrong, it might spell doom for the business. There are different payment methods, but one thing you must learn is every payment method have their positive and negative. So you must then know what exactly is the risk of this payment method and how do I mitigate it. What exactly is the risk of this payment method and how do I mitigate it? And that's very, very important. It's very important because if I don't know the risk of a payment method, that means I will have entered into it before I realize that, oh, this is not even good at all in the first place. But I would have gone into it already before realizing that I'm not even supposed to have accepted this payment method. And if at all I chose to accept that payment method, what I would have done is to provide for myself a coverage Because I know that payment method, I will anticipate the risk and then provide for myself a coverage. Why am I providing for myself a coverage? A coverage to ensure that at the end of the day, I do not find myself going into that payment method and then eventually finding it difficult to get paid. There are payment methods that are protected. There are payment methods that are unprotected. But you know what? The unprotected payment method is in high demand. The unprotected payment method is in high demand. So people will present that to you first. Not because they don't want to pay. They are just trying to see how they can minimize their exposure and risk. Someone said, I admire your favor to spread this export gospel. Adewale, Amonle, thank you very much. You know, if we don't spread it, how do we grow this economy? One thing that is so interesting to me is the fact that we want to grow this economy, but we're not taking export seriously. So since many people are now aware of the potential of export, what I've decided to do is to begin to talk about it every day, talk about it, such that at the end of the day, everybody that cares to know will get to know about it. Everybody that cares to know will get to know about it. And when they get to know about it, they probably begin to do something about it. Because if you don't know about it, you won't be able to do anything at all. So that's the reason why I try to ensure that every day I put some message out there for people who are interested to get to know that, oh, look, there is an opportunity for you. Huge opportunity for you to be able to grow, expand, add value to yourself, to your business, to Nigeria at large. So for me, it's a mission that must be accomplished, because I found out that when we grow this space, most of the challenge we have with unemployment can be sorted out. So Mr. Adewale, thank you very much for your compliment, but I'm just to explain to you why it's something we have to do, something we have deemed that we must do as an organization and as an individual. So let me come back to what I was talking about, and I was talking about payment methods. And I was talking about the fact that payment method is a big challenge. Now, if there is one area also that people are grossly ignorant about, it's also about payment method. If there is one area people should be aware of, should know more that, you know, when someone says, my major challenge is getting buyer. He's not saying my major challenge is the payment method. No, my major challenge is getting buyer. And I often say that is a misplaced priority. Thinking that your major problem is getting buyer is a misplaced priority. Thinking that your major problem is getting buyer is a misplaced priority. The major problem is not getting buyers. What if you get a buyer? How about the payment method is offering? The payment method is very important. It's as important as getting buyer. You know, we've categorized the 5 hurdles to be crossed or challenges in export to 5 P's. And in the 5 P's we have product. People don't see that as a challenge. Pricing, some see that as a challenge. Paperwork, many don't see that as a challenge. Purchasers, many see that as a challenge. Payment, people don't even think about it as a challenge. And I often say that when the product is good, the buyer will appear. You know, this afternoon, I had a very long meeting with our distributor in the UK. He was here with me in Nigeria, and we had a discussion about some new product we want to add to the list of items we ship to the UK. During the last GTB food and drink, I went there and I got a couple of products and I sent some of them to him. And he came back to me excited about some and disgusted about some. He came back to me excited about some and disgusted about some. The one he's excited about are the good quality ones. Well packaged. Nice. Lovely. Interesting. Great. The other ones, he doesn't like them. Packaging, the taste, the looks, the design were concerned for him. What am I trying to say in essence? I'm basically saying that one of the challenges that must be thought through in the quest to look for exporter or look for buyer rather is, how will I be paid after I've shipped the goods? How will I be paid? How will I be paid after I've shipped the goods? How will the payment be delivered to me? What are the risks involved in getting that payment? And how do I mitigate against that risk of not getting paid on time and in time? Those are the critical issues I need to think about. And those are the things that should inform my payment method. Because there are payment methods. Some ask for extension of time of payment. So some ask for extension of time of payment, mainly because the buyer is able to negotiate with the seller that, look, give me this product, I will pay you at so date. And the buyer did not see anything wrong with it. I mean, seller rather. And is willing to do that. Why? He's comfortable with the risk. He's comfortable with risk. So there are different payment methods. Some protect you, some do not protect you. Don't get into a payment method that does not protect you and you do not have alternative way of protecting yourself. Because as a starter, the payment method you'll be offered are not the one that gives the highest protection. Naturally. They're not the one that give the highest protection. They are not the one that give the highest protection. They are not the one that give the highest protection, but they will offer it to you anyway. You now have a choice if you are going to take it or not. But they are going to offer it to you. They are going to offer it to you. The question is, are you okay with it? Are you okay with it? Is it good enough? Having a critical understanding of the payment method is what we'll be spending the next few days talking about. Most likely, I will end this tomorrow, probably 2 or 3 sessions. But a good understanding of this is going to change the paradigm of your business as export. If you are already in export business, lovely. This will help you. If you are not, it will help you to take an informed decision. There are 4 major payment methods we use in Nigeria. There are 5, 6, 7, probably 8 payment methods in international trade. But there are 4 common ones, and that's what we use in Nigeria. By the way, payment method has to do with exchange of goods, exchange of document, and hence goods for money. Exchange of document and hence goods for money. What do I mean by that? Whoever holds the document have title to the goods, especially when it involves a sea shipment. So exchange of document, exchange of document, exchange of document alongside with money. Because when I have access to the document, I have access to the goods. And because of the access I have to the goods, I can clear the goods and not pay. So how then should we exchange document for money? And that's what payment method is all about. So we have open account, we have bill for collection, we have letter of credit, we have advance payment. We have open account, we have bill for collection, we have letter of credit, we have advance payment. By the way, letter of credit is also called documentary credit. Letter of credit also called documentary credit. Bill for collection is also called documentary collection. So if in your search online or in reading textbook, you see it as documentary credit, or you see it as bill for collection, documentary collection, then you are fine. We are still talking about the same thing. We are still discussing the same thing. So, why do we need to decide on payment method in international trade? It gives us an insight into the kind of risk we are going into and what we need to do to mitigate the risk. It gives us an insight into the kind of risk we are going into and what we need to do to mitigate the risk. To succeed in today's global marketplace and win sales against foreign competitors, exporters must offer their customer attractive sales terms supported by appropriate payment method. There are many competitors. There are many competitors, and you are not having anything so unique and different that can make the people to want to flock with you only at all time. Meaning, you have someone else offering something else that could be of interest to them. That which is being offered by someone else become a competing product for you, and you must find a way to be able to overcome that threat on your business. That means you must be competitive. And one of the things people are doing today to be competitive is the sales terms and payment method. One of the things people are doing today to be competitive is the sales terms and payment method. Sales terms, payment method. Sales terms, payment method. Sales term is asking how will the sales be made? At what point is payment expected? And how do we exchange document for money? How do we exchange document for money? How do we exchange document for money? These are very critical and crucial and important things we have to do. Because getting paid in full and on time is the ultimate goal of each export sales, an appropriate payment method must be chosen carefully to minimize the payment risk while also accommodating the need of the buyer. So you should look for a win-win situation. Look for an appropriate payment method to minimize your payment risk, and while doing that, ensure you accommodate. While doing that, ensure you accommodate the needs of your buyer. And this is extremely important. This is very important. Having a good understanding of this is extremely critical. Don't just look at your side and yourself alone. Always consider the side of the customer. Don't just look at your side and yourself alone. Always consider the side of the customer. While you think of minimizing your risk, think of also how to ensure that the buyer is also comfortable. Having a good understanding of the payment method is so important and so critical. To succeed in today's global marketplace and win sales against national trade, present a spectrum of risk which causes uncertainty over timing of payment between exporter and the importer. For exporter, any sales is a gift until payment is received. For an exporter, any sales is a gift until payment is received. Because if you don't get payment, you have just dashed out your goods. Therefore, exporter want to receive payment as soon as possible, preferably as soon as an order is placed or before the good is even shipped at advance payment. But on the other hand, for the importers, any payment is a donation until good is received. For an exporter, any sales is a gift until payment is made. For an importer, any payment is a donation until goods are received. Therefore, an importer wants to receive goods as soon as possible, but to delay payment as long as possible also, preferably until after goods are resold to generate enough income to pay the exporter. These are different ways, different direction, different paradigm. All